Hey there guys, and happy whatever day it is that you're watching this video. Today I think it's going to be a really special one, and it's certainly a special one for me, which hopefully my enthusiasm will be portrayed across the video. It's special because not only are we doing our second roaster profile on Coffea Circulor in Scandinavia, and it's from their 90 plus collection, which is a collection that I have never tried before. So it's going to be exciting, I think. So kick back, relax, get yourselves a coffee, and welcome to Today I Brewed. So before we begin, this video is somewhat delayed by a week and a little bit, and that's just because I have been doing some more roasting on my Genie Gaff, and I bought one a couple of weeks ago, and I've been steadily trying to learn how to roast coffee on it, which has gone through some varying degrees of success. Although I think I've got 3 batches that are worth drinking. But we'll see, because we've still got some time to let them settle before we can try them. But anyway, the coffee. So there's a lot of information on this coffee, so apologies if I start looking at my phone, just to make sure I can get all the information correct. But as I said, the coffee is from Coffea Circulor, and I didn't intend to do a second roaster profile so soon. But being intrigued by their 90 plus collection and wanting to try some, I thought, why not? Let's just buy a selection of coffees from them, and then we can talk about it, talk about the roastery itself, and talk about how good their coffee is. And plus, this little baby was about €50 for 40 grams, which I think is about £42–43, and I couldn't quite justify just buying this by itself. So we've got some exciting few weeks coming up as we drink the coffee, but more specifically, let's talk about this one. The coffee I'm drinking today actually isn't this, because I took this into work so the guys could try it. And I've only got 7.1 grams left. So this is just a jungle juice that I made, which is okay. And so I'm just going to be, from memory, telling you about the coffee itself, the experience of brewing it and actually drinking it, and the thoughts on it. So let's get into it. So what is the 90 plus collection? As I said before, coffee is scored on a scale between, well, I hope 1 to 100, although when we talk in terms of speciality, we're going from like 79.75 upwards, with most coffees being within the 80 region of scoring, although there are some exceptions, and some spectacular exceptions to that, which are 90 plus. This one here is apparently on the SCA scale a 97, which is possibly the highest scoring coffee I have ever drank in my life. And it was certainly an experience. So the 90 plus collection itself is actually founded by Joseph Brodsky and Guillermo San Malo, and they exclusively do coffees that score 90 plus. And they are pricey, to say the least. I think this one here, the Tigre, is about $1,500 a kilo. So it says on the website. which is expensive. But if I had $1,500 that I could happily spend on a kilo, and I wouldn't miss that money, I would probably buy it. Having drank it, I think it would be worth the price per kilo. But what about the coffee? Let's talk about it. So as I've said, the producer is the 90 Plus guys, and it's in Panama, in the region of Volcan. And the coffee itself is grown between 1,600 and 1,700 meters above sea level, and the variety is a geisha. Panama geishas are pretty famous for being wonderful and delicious, and this was certainly no exception. The process that it has been done by is a temperature controlled fermentation. I don't think I quite have the specifics, but we all know that fermentation is important to the process of coffee, and having a good temperature stability will help that process develop some wonderful flavours. And here's where it gets pretty interesting. On the website, they break down the coffees themselves and talk about the sensory experience from them, and have brew guides for the recipes that are worth using. And this one is pretty good. So the way that it works is there are aroma experiences, there's tasting notes for the taste, the body, and the aftertaste. And the aroma here, as it says on the website, is cognac, chocolate syrup, and cherry liqueur. Which is interesting, because when I opened this and had a little bit of a sniff, and if we sniff it here, even with the 7 grams that remain in the little jar, those aromas are super clear. When I first opened it, it reminded me a lot of like a Quality Street, the strawberry cream one. It reminded me of that. But kind of going further into that, you can get the sense of the liqueur. And as someone who isn't a cognac drinker, I do know what it smells like, and I would definitely say that the aromas are spot on. And certainly a pleasurable experience for the senses, just on the aroma itself. The flavour notes were oak wood, chocolate syrup, and cherry jam. So certainly a consistency in that type of chocolatey syrup flavour note. And the oak wood was interesting because I didn't quite get it until it was brewed. It was on the aroma of the brew, and it was certainly there while drinking. I guess it would be a familiar note to taste if you drank whiskey. And as it's something that I'm not particularly accustomed to, it was a pleasant surprise, and I definitely enjoyed it. And the great thing as well is that it was just so perfectly balanced. And I want to say that this is because of how well the coffee's roasted, and not specifically because of my ability to brew coffee, which I think is still something I'm learning how to do well. Despite doing these videos every week, I still don't think I've quite got it. But the aftertaste on this, it says on the website, coconut, dark chocolate, macerated raisin, plum, and long, which I am assuming also means lingering. And I think I definitely got those. Again, it was such a pleasant experience that maybe at the time I was just, to be fair, in a bit of in awe of the coffee itself and the excitement of drinking a coffee with such a high score. So I can't quite say that off the top of my head at this point I definitely got those, but I imagine while drinking it they were there. And the body, it says, was smooth, transparent, and mid to high. And I will 100% say that those descriptors are spot on. 100% spot on. It was a wonderful coffee with a delicious mouthfeel, and I definitely would have said a mid to high body. The acidity is plum, malic, and mid, which again I definitely agree with based on what I remember from drinking the coffee itself. There was definitely nothing there that was unpleasant, nothing that kind of jumped out more than anything else. Again, a really wonderfully balanced coffee. And funnily enough, the balance here says synergetic, which I 100% agree with. I actually don't have any videos of the the grind, the bloom itself, because I ground it and brewed it at work and didn't film it, basically. Although I think I have a picture of what the bloom looks like, which I'll add in if I have it, and if I do, it'll be here. But it was incredible, and I want to say, with a score so high, that it should be the best coffee I've ever tasted. And I think in terms of score, yes, but in terms of flavour profile, I think there are others that I've preferred. And that's nothing to do with the process of the coffee, nothing to do with the roast or the coffee itself, more just a flavour profile preference. So I can't really taste it here for you, because as I said, this is my jungle juice and not the coffee itself. But I think as an experience, and actually deciding to buy such a small amount of coffee for maybe slightly higher price than I would usually pay for coffee, I'm glad that I had the experience, and I'm glad that it's something I've now tried. I've seen the 90 plus videos on Instagram quite a lot, and always kind of been curious about why the coffees are so expensive and why they come in such a small volume. But having tried it, I get it. It's not something I would want to drink every day, but as a on and off experience every now and then, it would be something I'd be happy to drink. So yeah, just a fantastic coffee itself. In terms of the recommended brew, they have the whole thing on the website, which I'm not going to read out for you in this video because you can find it. I mean, if you've already bought the coffee and drank it, then I suppose the recipe is unnecessary. But it's great that it's there. It does recommend, I think, 28 clicks on a Comandante. I don't have a Comandante, so it's on my X54. And what I did it at work was on the EK43, and I think I did it at about a 6, between 5.5 and a 6, with an extraction time of about 4 minutes 15. So yeah, fantastic. So I think that is kind of the overall on this coffee itself. I would have tried to brew it with 7 grams, but I didn't really feel like that'd be a brew worth having, so I'm going to keep these as a nice little trophy in the jar that they came in. So I guess final thoughts. As I'd said previously, I don't think it's, in terms of flavour profile, my favourite coffee I've ever tried, but in terms of everything else and what the coffee is as a whole and the process it goes through and the care that I know goes through developing these 90 plus coffees, it's definitely the best one I think I've had. And I have tried Coffea Circulor before, and their coffee's always been fantastic. And as we kind of go through the roaster profile in the next few weeks, we'll kind of get into a bit more why it is so fantastic. So if you tried this coffee, what are your thoughts? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you not? Who knows? Either way, thanks for kind of joining me on this video, even though I've not actually brewed the coffee and I've basically talked at you for the duration of the video. But it was wonderful, and I think if you're ever able to get a 90 plus coffee, even if it's just a small 40 gram container, I would recommend it just to try it. And that would be just so you, for a tasting experience, what coffees with a really high score actually taste like compared to the coffees that we get every day. And it's not that our everyday coffees are bad, of course they're not. The videos that I've done previously tell my love for coffees, but this was just next level in terms of the experience I had and the experience with all the details that are on the website. So yeah, it's sold out, so you can't buy it now. But if it ever comes back, or you check out their website and go on the 90 Plus collection, I recommend at least trying one. So with that, enjoy the rest of your day. If you haven't got a coffee already, go make yourselves one. Kick back and relax. And thank you for joining me on Today I Brewed.